Espoir Matomba nations and elu selection, warning that this where the people of some chieftaincy dispute think pressing issues, including challenging doers to dangerously with treasury operations fee.
Welcome back and thanks sincerely for your company. Now with illegal drugs. Unfortunately for them, their activities were brought to a standstill following a routine gendarmerie patrol. Beatrice Ngamo now reports that they were caught in possession of bags of cannabis and other drug use items.
They handed for consuming and selling drugs. This is the result of a discreet and effective operation conducted by the EBOM and the Fulan Gendarmerie Brigades under the jurisdiction of Yaoundé 2 Company. The seized items include carefully packaged bags of cannabis, a homemade pipe for consumption, and a sum of money, visibly fruit of a lucrative yet destructive region. It is in line with this that on the evening of the 21st to the 22nd of April, we carried out 2 crackdown operations at Nsam and Obam. Evaluation: the first group had 40 banknotes, the second 42 notes. Presented the press May 22nd at the explanation of the Gendarmerie Company, the 3 young individuals symbolize a generation adrift, attracted by the illusion of an easy gain in an urban context increasingly marked by insecurity and underground trafficking. The Gendarmerie is determined to reclaim the streets and break the chains of drug-related delinquency, reform directive from hierarchy. It runs to restore peace and security in the capital's neighborhood.
As President today, SG Maureen reporting.
Nous le dirons demain. Toute ingérence d'où qu'elle vienne sera demain. Toute ingérence d'où qu'elle vienne ne sera pas la bienvenue.
Serge Expoir Matomba, the presidential candidate for the United People for Social Renovation PUS, has publicly denounced the collaboration agreement signed on May 9, 2025 between Cameroon's electoral body, ELECAM, and the United Nations. The agreement aims at supporting Cameroon's electoral process has been criticized by Matomba as an unwarranted foreign intrusion into
Qu'en 2025, au 21e siècle, dire ce que nous appelons en français facile l'ingérence.
We demand total and unquestionable sovereignty for our country, Matomba declared, questioning the necessity of UN involvement in Cameroon's electoral matters. He highlighted the absence of similar agreements between the UN and countries like the United States, France or Russia, asking pointedly why always Africa? Why?
On sait quel est le rôle que les Nations Unies ont joué de ce côté-là.
Matomba stands aligned with his broader political ideology, which emphasizes national sovereignty and a departure from colonial legacies. He has consistently advocated for a Cameroon that is self-reliant and free from external influences, particularly in its democratic processes. At the press, a declaration this Friday, May 23, the PU's leaders condemnation of the UN ELECAM agreement underscores a growing sentiment among certain political fractions in Cameroon that foreign involvement in domestic affairs undermines the country's autonomy. As the nation approaches its upcoming elections, debates over
National Reconciliation, abridged PCRN in French, have been the teacher of Honorable Cabral Libby as the party's presidential face of recent challenges and suggest a consensual coalition candidature for the opposition to maximize their chances of positive results. Honorable Cabral Libby has seized the opportunity to express his gratitude to 2 of the party's founding members for their commitment and support, especially during trying moments. On Sunday, May the 26th, ahead of the milestone event, Chairman Joshua Osei has been reaffirming the party's unwavering commitment. Of the attendees was our very own Hyacinth Chia.
Founded on May 26, 1990 as the first opposition party in Cameroon, the Social Democratic Front has been through major challenges but has shown proof of resilience within the Cameroonian political landscape.
Faith in the democratic destiny of our nation. Today, that seed stands tall. A sturdy tree whose roots reach every region and whose branches shelter every Cameroonian who longs for justice, dignity, and opportunity.
Despite being hampered by the Anglophone crisis in the Northwest and the Southwest regions considered as the party's base, the chairman before the media on May 22nd says the political outfit remains steadfast to finish the journey they embarked on 35 years ago.
As we gather to mark this storied anniversary, we do so not ourselves to the audacity of hope that inspired our founders, to the discipline of service that sustains our grassroots, and to the courage of action that the future now demands. It's unbroken. To finish what was begun on that luminous day of May 3 decades and a half ago.
The press cocktail at the Olezwa Central Regional for the 2025 presidential race.
And elsewhere, the first walk in Yaoundé with 51 applications on the table for scrutiny. After intense deliberations behind closed doors, only 6 met the criteria for approval. Beatrice Ngamo now reports that 17 applications were simply rejected and thrown out.
Members of National reviewing 151 applications. In the secrecy of closed-door deliberation, decisions were made. Each document is scrutinized one after the other. 10 in all for national press. About 2 hours later, the verdict was pronounced. Today, May 23, 2025.
This session, we had 51 documents, others that we accepted on condition that they can complete their documents.
17 others were outrightly rejected. Note that the valuable press pass is only valid for 2 years.
1,200 press cards.
The occasion also allowed for the welcoming of a new member, replacing the one who died last year. With just 1,200 press cards issued, many question the disinterest of the professionals to be in possession of this symbol of journalistic legitimacy and tool for professional access and protection.
Issues legally. In a press briefing, the village chief, Achiri Boma, and community leaders rather addressed concerns over attempts to downgrade Santa's status as well as create a third-class chieftaincy. Here is Annie Collins Annie.
The people of Santa village in Mizam division of the Northwest region have reiterated their stance to resolve territorial and chieftaincy disputes through legal channels. In a recent press briefing in the Royal Palace in Santa, some princes, princesses, and concerned persons of good faith at home and abroad joined His Royal Highness Hope
to the administration. With regards to the usurpation of title, people coming into Santa village in itself and put Santa village.
They wondered how some people appointed by presidential decree can turn around to despise the presidential decree that recognizes Santa as a second-class chiefdom.
By the state decree, so that you are looking at the president of this country as somebody who is incapable.
Another one was raised by the people who provoked us as usual, and they don't let us know that the demarcations have been met. The section where the shrines have been planted, it should stop. I think the May form was there, present, and they gave him a special warning. That thing should never repeat itself.
They applauded the recent sub-prefectural order of their family successor instead of their family compound. They, however, expressed anxiety to see a permanent solution to recent prefectural moves to create a third-class chiefdom within Santa village.
That was rather Sherif Asali reporting with contributions from Annie Collins Annie in Bamenda. Now, from all available indications, Cameroon is in dire need of money to fund and bankroll its treasury operations. We gather that the country is now turning towards the financial market. Criticism from analysts who say the country's debt burden is becoming unsustainable and poses huge risks for the future. Here's Gladys Sambon-Dibang.
To finance its treasury operations for the 2025 fiscal year. The measure follows a decree signed by President Paul Biya authorizing the Minister of Finance to secure the funds. But even before the ink is dry, the decision has stirred unease amongst financial analysts and economic observers.
Itself, but how? Unfortunately, it has become easier for Cameroon to accumulate debt. The country's current debt stands at 14,400 billion CFA francs, amounting to approximately 35.6% of GDP.
Although the government has stated that the funds will go towards managing treasury operations, critics express worries that the pattern of borrowing is unsustainable, particularly if funds, they argue, is not encouraging
productive ventures. There is hope for reimbursement.
As the country moves forward with plans to secure more credit, economic experts are urging the government to be truly on the nation's future.
And now matron even from as far away as Ottawa, Sally up next reports that attendees were treated to a rich cultural performance amongst others.
Cameroon's 53rd National Day was marked with grandeur at the Preston Event Center in Ottawa as the High Commission of Cameroon welcomed hundreds of guests, including more than 3 dozen diplomats and Canadian government representatives. The elegant celebration. Presiding over the ceremony, Cameroon's High Commissioner to Canada, His Excellency Ngole Philippe Ngwese, delivered a bilingual address highlighting the historic significance of National Day and calling on Cameroonians in the diaspora to embody unity, discipline and responsibility. The High Commissioner also toasted to the continued peace and unity in Cameroon and to the growing partnership between Cameroon and Canada, a relationship established in 1962 and reinforced through economic and Minister for Africa and Pan-Geographic Affairs at Global Affairs Canada, it as a mutual strength that underpins deeper cooperation. The evening showcased Cameroon's cultural richness with a musical performance by Cameroonian artists and a documentary highlighting the country's tourism, but also reaffirmed its enduring friendship with Canada and the vibrancy of its diaspora community abroad.
A couple of moments ago, National Reconciliation abridged PC Cabral Libby has been invested as the party's deputy spokesperson. He is Barrister Tamfu Richard.
Today we are experiencing the second ordinary congress of the PCRN, and I think that is in all legality. So it's not like it's a gift. It's not a gift. These are the rights which have been enshrined into the Constitution. So we are just merely benefiting from those rights. And you understand that this Congress of Amber. So what I can only say is that the message in the Congress is clear: reconciliation. We know very well that Cameroonians are suffering a lot. So in our own way, that's the more reason that this Congress are presenting for the other parties have done so. They are presented does not mean that we are not open to any coalition or we are not able to as the flag bearer of our political party.
Same time, same place next week. Meantime, accept gratitude from the entire production crew for the privilege of your company. Bye-bye.